because you've got all right, here we go. Whoa, that's a big zoomed in version of me. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing really well. Just checking all the streaming services. Hey guys, how are you? Good morning. Hey Shans, how are you? Hey mate, how's it going? All right. Hopefully we can get on in a second, and I'll get cracking with Q&A and ask away if you've got any questions. Okay. Feel free to slam a couple of questions in the comments, and I'll get to them if I can. If I can't, I will send me a DM and I'll get back to you whenever possible. The hard part about it is if you're on Facebook and you want to ask a question, can you send it to my direct Facebook link, not the groups? Because they won't show me the questions come up, unfortunately, which is shit. But that's what's happening with the streaming stuff at the moment, because nobody wants to use people going on multiple platforms, which is pretty shit. But anyway, it is what it is. Moving forward, hope everyone's having a great start to Tuesday. Already been to the gym, which has been awesome. I'm feeling really pumped about that. I don't mind getting a nice early gym session in. It feels really, really good. Sort of starts the day on the right foot. And if you're not that type of person, that's cool, and you can only get there in the evenings, it's no problem at all. I'm doing something different today. I'm going to do like 30 in 30. Well, 30 questions and 30 answers in 30 minutes if I can. Sometimes I might go a little bit longer on some of the questions, depending if they are very valid. If they're not valid and they're simple and easy to answer, I will answer them pretty simply. But as always, if you have a question, please pop it in the chat box and I will get to it as soon as possible. Just a reminder to everybody on Facebook that I can't see yours pop up anymore on the stream, so it is what it is. Morning, guys. How are we? Okay, first question is, how much fat should I be having per day? How much fat? So based on a percentage, around about 20 to 30% of your total daily calories should come from fat. And we're talking about healthy fats like avocados and nuts and olive oil and things like that. Okay, if we can avoid trans fats, it would be, hey Renee, would be super helpful. Also, with those types of foods, we've got to be mindful of portion sizes. Okay, a handful of nuts versus a serving of nuts are two different things. You can severely go over your calorie limit if you don't be mindful of portion sizes. Okay, our brain needs fat to function, so we can't skip it out of our diet. So it's not something we can just say, hey, just remove fats from your diet. It's just dumb. If anyone else out there tells you, like I said last week, you have my permission to fucking smack him in the head. So yeah, just be mindful of the amount of or quantity of those fats. Okay, super important. When should I incorporate running into my weight loss program? You don't have to. If you like to run. If you don't, walk is probably the best, in my opinion. But weight loss is all about nutrition. It's not just about running, right? There's that old myth that you can run away from a bad diet, which you can't. So yeah, if you want to run for endurance purposes and that's your goal, then run, no problem at all. But if you don't, walking is heaps better. If you want to add a little bit of resistance to that, chuck a weight vest on or a backpack with some stuff in it. And yeah, it's a bit of progressive overload as well. Next question is, should I take BCAAs? Okay, here's my thing on supplements like these. They are not the perfect substitute for proper amino acids, which you get from protein. Okay, they're not. They're engineered, remember that. So BCAAs, and don't quote me on this because I'm lacking proper knowledge and information on it, but there are some stuff in there missing that your body will have to overproduce to counteract that. So BCAAs, you should be eating enough protein per day and you won't need to take that as a supplement. Okay. But amino acids are there to help us build muscle after we've fatigued it in the gym. So getting enough proper protein every single day will be better for you than, spending $30 on a drum of BCAAs, which most of it you're pissing out anyway during the day. So not really that beneficial. Hey Cars, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, great question. Should I take creatine? Simple answer is yep. It's one of the most researched supplements out there that is super beneficial for strength training, power training, muscle growth, all that stuff. So it's safe for men, women, beginners, newbies, but we've got to make sure we have plenty of water. So creatine brings a lot of water to your muscles to help them fluff them up a little bit, gives you a bit of extra strength in the gym. So it's super, super helpful. Just remember, it causes a little bit of weight gain. I'm not talking tons, but it could be, a couple 100 grams, which if you are on a weight loss journey can fuck with the head sometimes, but don't stress about it. It's just water retention, and it'll come away pretty quickly once you start getting used to it. So is creatine safe? Yes. Should I take it? My oath. 5 to 10 grams. Girls, 5-ish, men, about 10 grams is what's been researched. Hey, Trace, how are you? What's better for weight loss, carnivore or keto? Calorie deficit. Calorie deficit. Carnivore and keto are a form of calorie deficit. They're a calorie restricted diet. So none of them are better. That whatever diet that you're happy with, that you can sustain, is the best diet for you. If it's carnivore, cool. If it's keto, great. If it's the pumpkin soup diet, cool. If it's the cookie diet, go for your life. Okay. What's better for weight loss is a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter if you do carnivore, keto, or calorie reduced. The calorie deficit is the aim of the game for weight loss. So, yeah, I don't like either of those, but that's just me. And there will be a ton of people out there that will argue against me and say, hey, yeah, keto's perfect, carnivore's the greatest. No worries. If it works for you, go for your life. Next question is, how often should I increase weights I lift at the gym? Okay, that's a really good question. The whole point of going to the gym and lifting weights is to progressively build muscle over time. And the only way to progressively build muscle over time is to incrementally increase your weights over time. So if you are lifting with proper form and if you are lifting with intent, you should be able to, hey buddy, how are you, mate? You should be able to increase your weight progressively in sort of 2 to 4 weeks. That's depending on progress. But if you're lifting with proper intent, proper range of motion, mind muscle connection, it should take you about 2 to 3 weeks to start looking to increase your weights, because your reps are going to be nice and easy. So if, for example, your rep count is 10 reps of barbell squat and you load up the bar and you can do 10 really easy, 10 is not, that weight is not your weight. You need to increase that weight. So when you get to sort of 8, 9, 10, you're really struggling to push it out. That's how you're going to get a little bit bigger in the gym, but also going to get those really cool gains. So yeah, how often? Roughly 2 to 3 weeks, but you have to listen to your body. Yeah, a good question, Jazz. Thanks. Yeah, you have to listen to your body. Okay, I can't tell you when it's time to lift. You can tell yourself when it's time to lift. Okay, so yeah, just listen to your body. Don't rush in. Make sure your range of motion is good, and in 2 to 3 weeks' time, you should be able to start incrementally increasing your waist. I'll probably spend a little bit more time on this now. What I'm saying is, do not go from a 20 kilo barbell squat to start chucking 20 kilo plates on the side. That's like a 200% increase. It's not right. Okay, if you're doing barbell curls or dumbbell curls, you're not going to go from 5 kilos to 20 kilos, are you? No, you're going to go from 5 to 7 and 7 to 12 or 10. Okay, so progressive overload is smaller increments. So for me, it would be the 2.5 kilo plate or the 1.25 or the 5 kilo plate. Makes more sense. If you start going ego, you're going to hurt yourself. Okay. Next one. How do I suggest warming up to avoid injury? Okay, warming up. Again, for me, it's personal preference. I like to mimic the exercise I'm about to do with lighter weights and a little bit of higher reps count to warm up my muscles to get a lot of blood flow going. Some people swear by walking on the treadmill for 20 minutes. That's cool. Some people do mobility work. Some people do band work. Whatever makes you happy and warms up your muscles is good for you. There is no right way to warm up. Okay, there is no right way to warm up, but dynamic stretches, mobility stuff, the performing the movement before you do the movement with lighter weights is the best, in my opinion, way of increasing blood flow to the muscles that you want to work. And that's what we want. We want warm muscles when we get into the gym, when we start lifting. We don't want to lift cold and injure ourselves. Okay, so slow and steady, nice warm up sets. if you feel like the treadmill or the elliptical or whatever makes you feel good, then jump on there and do it. But just don't expel yourself. The problem with warming up with cardio is we're going to use all our energy up before we lift the weights. And I would much rather you lift with intent and energy by expelling what you can. And then at the end, if you want to do a 20-minute session on the cardio, go for your life. Cool. How do I know if I got a good protein or a bad protein? Protein bar. Oh, okay. How do I know if it's a good protein bar or not? Okay. Protein bars for me are a personal preference. There is no good or bad. But preface to this is I want to see a 10% return on protein to calorie ratio for my protein bar. All right. So if my protein bar is 200 grams, for example, I want a minimum of 20 grams of protein, 18, let's give or take, a percent. So 18 or 22, something like that. That is the type of protein bar I want. Okay. I'm not a big fan of the ones that are 250 calories and 12 grams of protein. Doesn't make sense to me. It's not a bang for buck return on your money. So look for, if you're lacking in fiber, some of them have a higher fiber content. Great. They're going to help you out. But for me, I like as little additives as possible, but a maximum return on protein. So there is no perfect protein bar out there. A lot of people swear by Quest. Not a big fan. I like Musashi because they're crunchy and they're rice like bubble type thing. So that's my preferred one. But find a protein bar that you enjoy to eat, but also has a 10% return on your protein to calorie ratio. That's the simple way of answering it. I'm in a calorie deficit. Why am I not losing weight? Good question. Okay. First thing, are you following your meal plan to a T in terms of amount of protein, amount of calories, and also portion sizes? Everybody, we keep forgetting portion sizes. If you don't weigh your meat, it's quite easy to be able to put 300 grams instead of 200. So if we're trying to be mindful of weight loss, make sure you weigh in your portion sizes. Water retention from stress, sleep deprivation could be the cause. You could be on your period. You might not be doing your walking. It's like there's tons of things. You might not be hitting your water target per day. Generally, if you're not losing weight, it's either you hit the plateau or you're at your maintenance level, or you're not doing one of the steps that you need to do to put yourself into a deficit. Okay, that's generally what it is. So we got to remember, weight loss doesn't simply go like that. It is a fucking mountain. It just goes up and down, undulations and troughs and plateaus and peaks and everything that goes along the way. So if you're consistent with your diet, consistent with your activity levels each and every single day, there is no reason why you shouldn't be losing weight. So something's missing. So go back and look. Am I tracking? Am I doing my steps? Am I hitting my protein target? Am I controlling my portion sizes? Am I sleeping enough? Blah, 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 blah. You should know that by now. Okay. Should know that by now. Cool. All right. Question in live. Why is my weight staying the same, but my waist circumference is coming in? That's a really good question. It's because you're losing fat and possibly gaining muscle. Okay. Possibly gaining muscle. We've got to remember muscle is more dense than fat. Okay. What I mean by that is, a 200 grams of muscle versus 200 grams of fat. Muscle is very dense, where fat is very open and bubbly. Okay, it's a different type of material. So around our waist, we don't have a defined muscle that goes around there. So it's all body fat that's coming off. So for me, the way I feel, I don't focus on weight, but measurements are really, really good. And photos are super important. So if you want to monitor it and maintain your weight loss journey, always take photos before and afters, but always use your feeling as probably the best determination of how you're going with your weight loss. How much avocado should I eat? Okay, that's a good question. Half an avocado is generally a good serving size per day with the healthy fats in it. Okay, it's calorie dense. Don't go overboard. Just make sure that you understand that the fats in there are really good for you, but also in moderation. Are low carb beers actually better? Well, they're better because they have fewer calories. They help you watch your carb intake or your calorie intake. There's no alcohol in them. less alcohol, less calories in them. Sorry, I'm not talking about low carb beers, not zero beers. Alcohol still affects fat loss. Okay, alcohol still affects fat loss. So if you can maintain as minimal amount as possible, would be greater, better for you, especially in moderation. But are low carb beers actually better in terms of calories? Yeah, 100%. Maybe tastes different. I don't know. I don't drink beer anymore, so I wouldn't know what's the difference between the two of them at the moment. But yeah, it's moderation, please. Do you still train if you feel unmotivated? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think even a light workout or a 20-minute walk is much more beneficial to the mindset than sitting around doing fuck all and feeling sorry for yourself. We've got to remember that word motivation only comes in when we've got discipline. Okay. Discipline creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation. If we don't have discipline, we don't have motivation. If we don't have the steps, all our ducks in a row every single day, we're not motivated to continue on. If you don't, consistently train every single week, you're not going to progressively overload and get bigger or get stronger. And then you're not going to be motivated because you're not seeing the results because you're not doing the thing. So if you're not doing the thing, the motivation doesn't come. Does that make sense? So yeah, anything is better than nothing in my opinion, especially when you're unmotivated, when the headspace is all clouded. Cool. Should I train through an injury? Simple answer is no. When we're talking about injuries, you don't want to aggravate it. But caveat to that is if, for example, you've got a calf injury and you can't train legs, you can still train upper body. Okay. But I'm talking about the muscle that you've actually injured. So do not train through injury. Go and see someone to get it fucking fixed or get some advice on how to stay off it for a while. The problem with people when they get on a weight loss journey or a muscle building journey is that they get really, really excited. And again, that motivation factor comes into play when we don't want to lose our gains and we train through our injuries and then we end up fucking ourselves up even more. So, should you train through injury? No, in my opinion. Go and find a doctor or physio to assess what the problem is. But as I said, there is no reason why, hey, Lisa, there's no reason why you can't train other areas of your body if it's down. If you've got an injured shoulder, you can still do leg day. don't forget that, even though everyone hates doing leg day. Is deadlifting dangerous if I am new to the gym? Okay, good question, because there's a deadlifting is actually not really dangerous if you're hitting the form right. It's dangerous if you are ego lifting or you do not know how to do a proper setup for a deadlift. Okay, so the most important thing with any lifting in the gym, any lifting, it doesn't matter if it's a simple bicep curl or a deadlift or a Zercher squat or something that's complicated, you need proper form. You need to start on light weights. You need to go back to like just using the stretch bar or something like that just to get your form correct. So, is deadlifting dangerous if you're new? No, if you're using the proper form, if you've got a coach showing you how to do it. Okay, but we've got to start slow and we've got to start light. You can't start deadlifting 200 kilos if you've never done it before, because that's when things are going to go wrong. Hopefully that makes sense. How do you develop bigger biceps? Okay, muscles in general, focus on mind muscle connection, focus on slow and controlled movements. If you're going to go to the gym and start doing these ones, you're only doing endurance work on your muscle. You're not actually going to grow it any bigger. Okay. But for any muscle group, if you can train it at least twice a week, you will generally find that in 4 weeks' time, you'll start seeing really good gains. Okay. The next thing is to develop bigger muscles is rest and recovery. Have a 1 or 2 days a week rest and recovery. And probably the most important thing is food. Let's get enough calories in there and protein so we can actually give our muscles fuel to grow. Simple, right? What's the most important important gym concept to get right? Oh, okay. Good question. I think first and foremost for me, consistency is probably the most important concept in the gym. Showing up even when we're not motivated, right? Proper form would be the next best thing. Let's make sure we're lifting right for the goal that we have, but also for our longevity. Proper form avoids injury and maximizes gains. I think mobility work should be up there somewhere to aid in recovery, but also strength, because mobility, as we get older, it's harder for our muscles to recover quick enough. So we need to give it that time. Good sleep. Absolutely. Sleep and food and patience would probably be the last two. Okay, results take time. but they also take fuel. So don't expect to go in 4 weeks and look like Schwarzenegger, because it ain't going to happen. That takes fucking years. Is rice healthy? Yes. Is chocolate healthy? Yes. Is pizza healthy? 100%. Everything's healthy in moderation. Okay. Is excessive amounts of rice healthy? No. Is excessive amounts of chocolate or pizza healthy? No, it's not, if you're on a weight loss journey. Okay. Brown rice is more nutrient dense than white rice. White rice has less calories than brown rice. So if you are looking for more fiber, have brown rice. If you're looking for calories, to lower your calories, have white rice. Okay, basmati is the same. Jasmine rice, basmati, I like those two. They taste better than brown rice, because I think brown rice is rank, but brown rice will bring my fiber count up. So I'll use brown rice for that reason. Okay, so it's portion control is the key to anything. Is anything healthy? Yep, if in moderation. Is having 1 to 2 lattes a day a problem? The problem with caffeine or coffee or teas or anything like that, it's not the actual coffee or tea, it's the milk or the additives that you put in. Okay, if you are having 4 coffees a day like me, I have long blacks, because I like my coffee strong and I don't like milk in it. Simple as that. And the calories are really low. Okay. If you are having 4 coffees a day with full strength milk, you're probably having excessive of 500 calories extra per day. So if you are on a weight loss journey, that's going to affect it, because we're trying to lose 500 calories a day to put ourselves in a deficit. Okay. So it depends on the milk. If you're another fiend that has full cream milk and also a couple of squirts of caramel, okay, there's another couple hundred calories that you're adding in there that you don't even think about. Liquid calories are the biggest killer of a weight loss journey. Okay, so the only issue with having 1 or 2 or 3 coffees a day is the additives you put in it. Okay, caffeine is really good to boost metabolism, focus, all the rest of it. So there's nothing wrong with that. It gives you a bit of energy, but yeah, just make sure that you're mindful of what you're putting in your latte, because that's the thing that can put you over the limit of calories per day. Hopefully that makes sense. What's better, high reps or low reps? Okay, I can't even speak. High reps. High reps with lighter weight builds endurance. Low reps with heavier weight builds strength and size. That's probably the simple way of remembering it. So if I like to do a mix of strength training and endurance training, because it helps me with achieving my goals on cycling and stuff like that. So I like to mix them up, and I think that's beneficial for most people. But if your goal is to get big with strength and size, low reps, heavy weights is super important. If your goal is to maintain that lean sort of look, endurance work is probably just as good for you. But always mix them up, because there's nothing wrong with if you're looking for that lean look and you want to get a little bit stronger, we've got to do the low reps and the heavier weights. So don't be afraid to lift above your limit, but make sure that you are getting to fatigue on every lift. Okay, super important. Last question. How do I actually go about losing abdominal fat? Okay. The most important thing to lose abdominal fat or to gain abs, like everybody wants, is the calories you eat every single day. If you want a rippling 6-pack that's going to knock off Chris Hemsworth every single day of the week, you need to be eating at very, very low calories and very much high protein per day. That is the most important thing to worry about. It's about consistency. If you want them all year round, it's about consistency. You have to sacrifice the fun things in life, like chocolate and sweets and all the stuff that is really high calorie. So if you want to lose lower abdominal fat, you need to tighten up your diet. If you want rippling abs, if you just want a flat stomach, which I have, do I have rippling abs? No. Do I have a strong core? Yeah, I do. I like donuts, so I ain't sacrificing donuts. I love donuts. I love that stuff. I train for that kind of reason. So you can train core abs every single day of the week, and you probably won't lose all that abdominal fat. You'll gain a lot of muscle underneath it, but if you have, a centimeter of fat over the top of it, you're not going to see the abs, and that's what everybody wants. Okay, that's what everybody wants. Everyone has this misconception that having abs means you're healthy. Generally, I say that because there are people that are exception to the process. Generally, most influencers out there that are ripped every single day of the week either have an eating disorder or on some sort of freaking PED, or they're like super restrictive in their calories. And I'm talking 1,000 calories a day. Okay, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Someone like me is 6 foot, 82 kilos. I need 2,300 calories a day. Okay, if I want to rip myself apart and go down and have rippling abs, I'll have to drop to 1,800, 1,600 probably as the bare minimum, but I'll need my protein intake really, really high. So if you want rippling abs, that's what you're going to have to do. It's fucking hard work and the maintenance is a bitch, but if you are disciplined, that word discipline, you can do that stuff. Okay, cool. That was really, really good. No more questions online. Hey guys, how are we? It's not the coffee, agree. That's right, Jace, 100%. It's the additives to the coffee. Certainly is. All right, guys, thanks for joining us on Q&A today. I really appreciate everybody's questions that came through. Again, if you have any questions you'd like to ask me in the chat, send me a question later on. I'm more than happy to make a video on it if I need to, or help you out in any form of way. If you are looking at jumping on a weight loss journey, and you're not sure about it, send me a message and I'll be able to give you some directions on how to get